Conor O'Leary with this big finish in Fiji. Even if he bows out in the quarterfinals, is going to streak ahead in that Rookie of the Year race. But Joan Duru is going to try and reel him in on the bottom half of the draw. No one has come close to matching him with the big scores.
Eating too, so over the years they got decimated here. And here we go. One of the first waves. Look at this thing. Joan driving into it way too deep, but you can see what everyone's looking for out there. The tide's pretty high and everyone's sitting a little bit wide of the ledge over to the spot. You can see Conor's done that. He's placed himself good here. And if this one peels off, it should get real hollow towards the end of the reef here at Shish Kebabs.
Why don't you take us through it?
Well, here we go. Big old man turn. He throws a ton of spray. I think that was the point of difference on the Gold Coast. Nice little slot in barrel, but not a real deep one. But it kind of made up for it there. Kind of threw a little bit of extra power into the back foot on that last one, which, you know, Italo was throwing a really good turn down after his barrels and his, and he's actually more often than not done the big wrap all the way around where most guys haven't been. John's been pulling that off. So look at this first line. He did good to transition there off the top. It's a tricky little line there, but good pace to get into that. Not a big barrel. Steps on the back foot there, and that's where the risk came in. And nice clean ride. Probably not a giant score to start. So watch this carve line down and then just sets up the barrel. Perfect speed. Kind of brushed it off there. Not a real hollow wave, but here's where he steps on the back foot. And, you know, now we're starting to get to see a bit more of what Conor has to offer.
Fiji, you're watching the Outerknown Fiji Pro quarterfinal number 3 unfolding. Good score for Conor O'Leary to get started, a 6.33. Now looking for a backup to that number. Ducks under the lip for a moment, stalling. Out onto the open face. Keeps those down the line. Hits coming. As we now look out the back and see Joan Duru on one of the bigger waves of this heat, has a lot of speed. Rolling through this one. Tries to punch through the curtain and he gets knocked down. So this heat not really going Joan Duru's way at the moment. Had a 1.1 on his opener. And I guess Kelly with 16.5 minutes to go.
And you can see where he does his last turn. We'll just kind of watch it here. A little bit of bump and wonk. See how that lip's not real clean and perfect. And a nice little slot barrel, but you can see he had to hit it and kind of fall out with it. And that can happen a little bit. But, you know, you turn around and see a guy on this thing and you go, oh, please don't do what I think you're going to do. And right here, I thought he was just lining up for the, you know, this is when the 10s happen, when you get that long driving thing. But there's some bump coming out of the channel. And, you know, I haven't been out there today, but it looks a little bit wobbly still, even though it's really perfect at the same time. Hey, you know, you just got to factor all that in, and that just comes down to how much have you been free surfing and how comfortable do you feel. Here goes Conor.
Conor O'Leary looking to get rid of a 4.83 here. He's been surfing with plenty of speed, but that wave's not going to count in this heat. It's going to be a throwaway number for him. We'll go back to Barton. Can still turn it with one excellent score, but you just get the feeling Conor O'Leary is going to drop this 4.83 at some point. Here he goes now, the surfer from Cronulla. Just stalling, riding high. Been impressed with the speed he's carried through each of his rides in the event so far. Throwing a little bit more risk at the end section, knowing it's a smaller wave, but unsuccessful on that attempt. Well, here we go. Out there at the takeoff zone, trying to position himself well for something special from the outset. Joan Duru, a little late getting into this one, but he's got plenty of speed to just motor through this section. And still rolling through the inside. And goes for a big float, wants to add some points down the line. So that was one of those occasions where Joan Duru got the motor running to get through the first section, but as a result, again, he came out with so much speed. Couldn't really brake for the barrel, and it was sort of reeling off behind him. There was maybe some more points there, but anytime you get yourself deep in these barrels, you're on your way to a good number. Conor O'Leary well and truly back in this thing, but a little too far. It looks like 9 minutes to go here.
And it kind of threw him. He got a little bit late getting to it. So we'll see here. So there he extended a little bit weird and got caught on a weird bump, and it put him in a good spot. And then there he got caught up and slowed him down. But then he didn't slow down enough. He could have put the arm in, did the float here. I really think he should have just teed off on that last section, right? There was a nice nice slash section, kind of carve section at the end he didn't utilize. But he's back in the heat. Watch him get caught up right about there. and I thought he was going to go down. So it was, you know, it was kind of a bonus that he didn't go down and did make the wave. He's clearly back in the heat. I mean, it's probably going to be up there close to Connor's best score, and he's, you know, he doesn't need a big score now. I feel like Connor has a little bit kind of made a couple rookie mistakes catching those last couple waves he caught. But then you're back sitting there with priority. If you had caught some little insider that's barely going to better your 4.8, if it does at all. There we go, 7.7. He only needs a 3.4 now. You know, and Connor's got second priority. So, you know, catching those couple little ones that definitely weren't going to help him. Now he's sitting there going, okay, if a good one comes, it's Joan's, it's not mine. You know, so I'm probably missing that. Here we go. Joan, he only needs a 3.36. There's that carve all the way around I was talking about, the slower little wave. Nice second one. It's definitely not a big wave or a giant score, but he's definitely going to be flirting with this little score that he does need. And we'll see what happens here.
Just a horrible score to be chasing on a wave this small when there has been some real quality in the waves. He likes the feel of it. It's a 3.39, the requirement. But you've got to make some comparisons to the 4.83 Connor O'Leary had. What was the size of that wave?
Yeah.
What kind of turns did he get done? Or it's going to be enough, a 2.93.
Oh my gosh.
So devastating. Connor O'Leary scrapes through in yet another low-scoring heat, Kelly. I think at some point he's going to have to start dropping some really big numbers.
Yeah, he will. And, you know, that's, you know, so there was some momentum going both their ways. Connor has been winning heats with low scores. Joan's been winning heats with high scores. Those high scores didn't show up.